in Austin on the 40 acres. On campus grounds, we gather round. Discussing goals and dreams and life's adventures. The Texas Longhorns, they're the talk of the town. High castles of the 40 acres, where we dive deep into the game day stories. From touchdowns to heartbreakers, we discuss it all. Texas Longhorns glory. There, we gather around each Thursday night, talking sports, it's so alright. From football to basketball, baseball to softball, Tim Wayne and Harry, we cover it all. Sports talk is our passion, our delight. Thursday night at 8:30, we unite. We discuss the scores, the plays, the teams you might. Let's dive into the game, let's ignite.
12 conference champions.
Yo, what is going on? We are back, Texas Longhorn Fan Battle Podcast. My name is Harish, of course. This is my guy, Tim Wayne. Tim Wayne, what it do, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm pumped. Ready to go. We got a couple things to talk about tonight that I'm very excited about.
Yeah, we do. I think, it's college football 26 is here, right? And we've been out for a couple weeks, but the last time you saw us, where there are a lot of recruiting announcements that happen in the state for Texas. Now, granted, I'm looking through them, and I think Texas went like 1 for 10, right, in all these recruiting battles.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about that. Here, this is what I want to talk about, Tim. Texas went 1 for 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to sit on this while I pay the bills real quick.
Yeah.
But does it really matter? Think about that. Think about that. So there's a lot of debate on whether on that topic right there. And I sit on one side of this debate.
I think you're going to be
probably the most popular of opinions.
Okay.
So I'll let you simmer on that for a little bit. I'll pay the bills real quick. FanBattlesports.com. FanBattlesports.com, where you can get the latest and greatest from the ASC South, including all the teams that are in the ASC South. FanBattlesports.com. No Titan slander today because they're going to do it to themselves in a couple weeks when training camp opens. So we will wait for them to show us themselves. FanBattlesports.com. Oh, it's on YouTube. If you guys are on the TikTok, hit us up on the talk. We are live right now. Share, like, tap the screen. Comment in the comment section, subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate it. And of course, almost at 3,000 followers there on the Twitters. Help us get there. The Twitters, the X's, the Elons, the AIs, the whatever you want to call it. We were almost at 3,000 followers there. So please hit us up. All right, Tim, let's get right into it. I know we want a short show. You want to go play college football 26. I want to go watch Superman. So we're gonna knock this out real quick tonight. And that's right. Recruiting. Let's talk about recruiting. Tim, how much have you been following the last week?
I've been following it a lot, actually. I've kind of been upset, but I've had an epiphany. Okay. When it comes to recruiting, of course, we've lost some big I can't think of them off the top of my head because I'm thinking about my current roster at Appalachian State. But I will say this: we've lost a lot of recruiting. We've lost the process of recruiting. However, I'm not as upset as I would be in the past. Simply because I think when the product is out there on the field and these recruits get an opportunity to see what is on the field, I think with them seeing the product, I think it will tell its own story. Not saying that we're going to flip every recruit. I know I don't think that that's a situation, but I think it will open a lot of eyes. To get $5 million to be an offensive tackle is a great thing. As a child, 17, 18, 19 years old, however old you are, and you have an opportunity to play, and you simply got outbid for a recruit. That's nothing to work.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's going to get $5 million, basically 1.3 or 1.7. I can't remember the numbers on how they worked it out for a couple of years, to play at Texas Tech. Now, obviously, to me, and this just says a lot to me, you're not trying to win. You want to get paid. That is a life-changing situation. You now become the breadwinner of your home, and that's fine. But what it also tells me is that you don't want to win. And going to Texas Tech, and I don't have anything against Texas Tech outside of Michael Crabtree and Blake Gideon.
I already talk about Tech minus that.
Yeah, it doesn't. You might be in the Pop-Tarts Bowl next year. So congratulations to that. But in the end, I think a lot of kids I like winning, dog. And again, I understand this is a really tough situation. I've never been put in this situation. Don't ever let me tell you what you shouldn't do. And I've never been in this situation before. But do we really think that Texas Tech is going to turn over and be the best? Do you think they're going to beat BYU next year? I don't think so. That's just me. I know that Tech has the talent on paper, but I think that they're possibly the number 3 team in the Big 12 right now, and I think they would be a bottom feeding team in the SEC. That's just how I feel about them. That's from what they've produced, even with the talent that they've had. That's what they produced, and so I'm not necessarily worried about recruits. I think somebody is going to flip. I don't necessarily know who. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an insider. That's not what I do. But I believe once people start to see, or once these recruits start to see that Texas is rolling folks, they're having fun, they're making their way towards another college football playoff, essentially an SEC championship, it'll change a lot of those guys' minds that were on the board for Texas.
Here's my thing, and I was looking at this, and I read some articles, and I did some looking up on this. You have to look at the current roster. Recruiting has changed drastically.
Yeah, for sure.
Teams cannot stackpile talent. We can't stackpile talent like Alabama does, right?
Not the way they used to, right?
Right. Yeah. And even then, and people would argue, man, look at Texas's roster right now. Look at Alabama's roster right now. Like, Alabama is still, in some ways, still feeling the effects of Nick Saban, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at Texas, let's look at offensive linemen. And this is, there's a couple things that happen here, right? And we'll talk about Ojo just specifically, Felix Ojo. The week before, I guess it was 2 weeks ago at this point at the Rivals camp, there's the news that came out that he did not play well. He even said it himself, one day is indicative of who I am or something like that, right?
Right.
That shows a lot of things. That shows, A, he knows he wasn't very good, right? B, Texas fans have shown that he wasn't very good, that he was maybe, he had a bad day, or one day doesn't, he's not wrong. One day doesn't really.
Yeah, it doesn't dictate who you are. It doesn't dictate who you are as a player, and it doesn't dictate who you are as a person. You have one bad showing. Now, you want to hope for him that doesn't translate into something longer.
It doesn't happen again, right?
Right.
So the second thing is you have to look at what position do you play? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ojo would play left tackle.
I believe so, yeah.
He's not starting this year. So I'm not paying $6 million to a guy who's probably who won't play this year. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Right?
He's not playing.
Also, he might not play next year, depending on what Gooseby does.
Right.
The assumption is he comes back, right? But again, let's just say Gooseby gets hurt a couple games and he wants to prove himself and he becomes like a second round pick and he wants to be a first round pick.
Yeah.
What I will tell you, Ojo is not Kelvin Banks. That's not what we would be getting with Felix Ojo. Like, there's a reason and this is the problem I have with like the term generational talents. Like,
is that what you're hearing from about Ojo?
No. I'm just saying, like when we take a look at, like, just because you're a 5-star doesn't mean you're a generational talent.
Right, for sure.
Right? All 5-star means is like, in your talent pool, you are one of the best. Basically top 10, right? Maybe top 5 in your position. But even 5-stars don't start year one. There are a lot of 5-stars that didn't start at Alabama the entire 18 years Nick Saban was there.
Think about where Alvin Kamara sat in that running back room at Alabama.
Yeah.
He was like the third running back and ended up going to Tennessee and balling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're a 5-star doesn't, you're not Colin Simmons. You're not Kelvin Banks. You're not Anthony Hill. It's not a slight. It's just not who you are.
Right.
Right.
Just taking Sanders. You're not
Yeah. There's even within your star level, there's levels like a high 5-star. That's what there's a reason. And shout out to Orange Bloods. They use this term. They Jeff Ketchum uses this term all the time. He talks about how there's only some guys that are almost 6 stars. They're just freaks of nature, right? Yeah. They're just so good. They're almost 6 stars. There's not even a classification for them, right? And there should be. Your DeCorian Moores, your Kelvin Banks, Colin Simmons. Who's another example of
Anthony
this?
Hill Jr.
Anthony Hill. Heck, Dylan Raiola was a 5-star quarterback, and he started last year and was not very good.
Right.
Right? And it's not like he played a lot of top competition either. He probably played a couple good teams.
Yeah.
He played middle to bottom end of the Big Ten.
Right.
And I'm a huge fan of Dylan. I think Dylan Raiola is going to be really good. And I think you'll see a jump this year, but it's just not how it is. Also, revenue sharing exists. Everybody knew that when this occurred, the talent was going to split. It's just natural. You're small, and we're in Texas. Everybody has money here.
Yeah.
Texas is no longer the only team that has money. And now you're saying we can use a salary behind it. Yeah. And what Texas Tech did, from what I read, is they signed that contract with Ojo before July 1st. So he basically got a fully guaranteed deal because that deal occurred before the new revenue and the new laws went into place.
Yeah.
That can't happen anymore. What Texas Tech was able to pull off cannot happen any longer.
So basically what you're telling me is that they basically, I don't want to say they threw a number, but they basically did what they can to get the recruit into the program and committed, so that they know for a fact that he's gonna stick.
Right. And look, kudos to them. I'm not mad at them. Whatever.
No, not at all. I wasn't super over aggressively
It sucks because he was one of the guys that I really liked.
I did like him, but I thought it was just a crazy number. I'm not. And listen, this is just me. If I'm a GM at the University of Texas, I'm not giving no kid or giving him an opportunity to have $5 million and he could walk away in less than a calendar year. I'm not doing that. To me personally, and you guaranteed him $5 million. You guaranteed him that. No,
basically, yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
Hey, from his perspective, the hustle was great. Shout out to his agent. Shout out to his team.
Yeah, for sure.
He's set. We just say nothing happens. He goes to Tech for a couple of years, has a good time. He's as long as he manages.
Even if he's in the league for 3 to 4 years as an offensive tackle or wherever he ends up, going, he's gonna be. He's doing a lot better than people that are on the practice squad. He's coming into a situation where in the NFL where if he does get drafted and he gets drafted like high, people gonna be looking at him like, no, you already got 5 million out the gate. Like you better come in. People are gonna be looking at him, and this is what the expectation is gonna be. When you
The
come,
expectations will be so
it's gonna be
high.
so you
That's
have
the other thing is,
you
yeah.
have one bad game, you boy, you dog,
Yep.
you're a 5-star, you got $5 million. Like, you better show me something. That's what's gonna happen. And
We'll see how he handles it.
we'll see how he handles it. Me personally, I'm very intrigued how this generation of football players handle it. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think as we get older, right, we're mid to late 30s. I think it comes to a situation where like a lot of these players that we're going to be seeing coming down the future are not going to have these 10, 11, 12-year careers anymore. Unless you're just the outstanding quarterback. I think
Yeah.
I think a lot of these kids are going to have money coming into the NFL. They're going to get, what they can out of the NFL if they can get it, and then they're going to leave. And,
Yeah.
and I'm not mad at that. Get your money. You know who that reminds me of? Aaron Donald. Now, Aaron Donald just so happened to have a great college career. He was a great player in college. He was a great player in the NFL. He played until he was 30, 31 and got out. Done. That's a great career, but not everybody is Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, some people believe, is the best defensive player of all time. And he was only in the league 9 years.
Yeah, but Aaron Donald is one of those players though that fall into this like freak category. Like Aaron Donald's like size wise was never built like a defensive tackle.
He was not your traditional.
Oh my gosh,
$240.
that dude was
40
he was
pounds.
I think he was only like at max. He was never more than 300 pounds.
Yeah, he said that his playing weight, he was in between 290 and 300.
290, yeah. Like, but again, he's one of a kind.
Yeah.
We will probably never see another guy like Aaron Donald again, ever. Like, not at that size, playing at that level, ever. Right. I don't think we'll ever see that ever again.
I mean, listen, we hadn't seen that in a long, like a dominant defensive tackle. I think Ndamukong Suh started out like that, but he just happened to run into too many injuries, be on really shitty teams, and he really didn't get to be he was a focal point of the defense, but like he wasn't in a big market team like the LA Rams. Right. So we didn't really get to see him really truly be dominant unless you were a diehard Lions fan. So there's a lot of stuff in to factor in with that.
But even with Ndamukong Suh, he was never under 300 pounds.
No, he was bigger than that.
Right?
Yeah.
You'll never see another guy like Aaron Donald ever again. It'll never happen.
Yeah.
A guy, defensive tackle under 300 pounds. That was as dominant as that. It was insane.
Yeah.
Right? But that's the type of thing, like, Ojo's not that. And then you think about, well, who else was Texas interested in? Let's talk about John Turntine, who did commit to Texas.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about John Turntine like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, John Turntine was like, people were saying, like, this is the number one guy in the state. And now, Turntine is a guy that looks really good. Like, that's a guy that's like, now, I'm not saying he's Kelvin. Again, I'm not saying he's Kelvin Banks.
Right.
But he is a guy that could play next year, right? Not as a freshman.
Right.
Like, if Gooseby leaves and there was a battle between Turntine and Ojo, like, I would say Turntine wins that job. But again, kind of like Kelvin Banks, a little undersized, but he's really, really athletic. He moves his feet really well. Yeah, he's really strong. If you look at the Rivals camp that was out recently, Ojo didn't play well. Turntine was the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's a guy that Texas is like, all right, well, hey, screw it. Like, this is going to be our guy.
Right.
And that's what Texas decided to do. There's going to be decisions that are going to be made. Also, go look at the portal. Look at who they picked up in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Sarkisian's getting his money. Like, we're at a point where we're so talented that we're only a couple pieces away from competing every year.
Yeah.
So why would I go to get a freshman, even though he's really, unless he's like a freak of nature?
Right.
Why would I go get a freshman and pay him $6 million when I can go get this sophomore who's played for a year at a high level and pay him $1 million?
Yeah.
Like, these are the types of conversations that are going to start happening. And look, we're not going to get every player.
Yeah.
If NIL didn't exist, we'd probably get 6 or 7 of these players.
I think so too. I think so.
Yeah. Like, we're losing guys to Baylor. Like, never in a million years would a guy like that go to Baylor. Never, because even if he came to Texas, he would go to A&M at the worst, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if he came to Texas. I mean, A&M puts out defensive linemen like nothing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Like, as bad as A&M is, they put out really good defensive linemen.
Yep.
AKA Myles Garrett.
Yep.
Like,
Von
they
Miller.
develop defensive linemen, right? That's just what they do.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be really interesting. Look, I'm not about the hate. I did read some stuff that he did essentially, like Ojo basically like said one thing to Texas and Ohio State and did completely opposite. He basically was like, he was telling Texas and Ohio State, hey, I'm here. Like, don't worry. I'm picking one of you two.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he ends up picking 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not down. Like, don't lie to me. Don't like, he apparently been doing this for a couple months now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
again, the first initial, you remember the night before he committed, I sent you that graphic because it was already out, like he was going to Tech, and we were both like, what is going on? Well, then when it came down the pike that he was getting $5 million, the first thing I said was, oh, Texas is not paying that, and move right along. It was very
yeah. There's never going to come a time, unless it's a quarterback. Quarterback is a crazy good 5-star quarterback,
right?
And Texas has nobody on the roster. That could be the only time
where I could see. You know what's
even that's like 6 years away minimum.
You know what's interesting about that is that I wonder how Texas Tech is going to handle getting 5 stars going forward. Are you just going to continuously throw money at them? Because now that's what Texas Tech is painting themselves as. Hey, we pay for our players. And again, we all know the situation. Sure. We understand the ruling. Things are constantly changing. God, I wish we had Matt here to really talk about the changes that have happened within the last couple of days, right? So much stuff has actually changed within the last couple of days. It's like, again, what are you going to do? Now you set this expectation, especially at offensive lineman. If you were a high-end offensive lineman going forward, why wouldn't you look at Texas Tech? Why wouldn't you go to Lubbock and take a visit? Because you're paying.
That matters, though, right? Like, why you could not look at Tech from a money perspective, right?
Right.
But if you're a guy that cares about going to the league and you look at Tech, it's like, yeah, he got $6 million, but the dude was a 5th-round draft pick.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy. I'm a 5-star guy. Why would I go in the 5th round?
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why the success of Arch Manning is so important for Sark.
Right.
Like, Sark held on to Quinn for so long and it flopped, right? Now, it flopped. It didn't flop because on-the-field performance was bad, right? I think it flopped because off-the-field health was bad, which resulted in on-the-field.
I think had Quinn been healthy, he would have went higher. I think what a lot of people are going to look is they look at Quinn and they say, well, we know he's got the arm talent. We know he can put the ball in the air. But what we can't count on is for him to be able to take a hit. And to be honest with you, I don't know if Quinn ever really bounced back from any of those injuries because it was always something ailing, right? It was always something ailing. He had the ankle injury last year. He had the year before the shoulder injury, the strained. Was it the calf or it's growing? It was always
the oblique.
Here we go. So it was always something. It was always something. Outside of the major shoulder injury, it was always something lingering behind it. And I hated that for him because I know what that looks like. And again, the old cliche is your best availability, or the best availability is being available, or your availability. I forget how it goes sometimes, but he wasn't always available. Every year that he played at Texas, he had an injury. Every year.
And this is why, like, Arch getting hurt this year is something that can't happen, right? Like,
right.
I'm not saying that from a win perspective we won't be fine or anything, but it just like from a, I don't know, it's just from like there hasn't been a healthy quarterback play a full season at Texas, I think, since Vince Young.
Yeah.
Every year the quarterbacks had something.
Yeah.
Something. Like, yeah. Have you seen the fourth and 10 podcast lately? The Longhorn podcast? I did an interview with David Ash recently.
I didn't see the David Ash interview yet. I saw Sark, but I haven't seen David Ash.
Yep. The David Ash one, apparently, like, really talks about what happened and like how he felt and like how it impacted him. We obviously know the 1st and 10; those guys are really, really good, right? So you obviously go in and check them out. But yeah, I'm health is, like, to me this year, if I were to prioritize what I want to see from Arch, I wanted to play a full season. I want a Texas quarterback to play a full season.
Like, be healthy, yeah.
And we've yet to see that, and I want that to be the thing. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year. Obviously, we'll take. There's not a lot going on. I think spring or fall camp starts the end of July. So if we're looking at a timeline, it's basically 3 weeks from today.
Yeah.
And I'm out the last week of the month, right? I'll be on vacation. So I think, like, when we come back on the 7th, we'll be talking about fall camp. We're almost there, man. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
And the very, very first sign showing that we're almost at football season is nothing more than college football 26.
Yeah.
The game is officially out as of today.
As of 2 hours ago.
If you are on Twitter on Tuesday complaining about the game not being patched, my guy, let me explain to you guys how the gaming industry works. Every game known to man has an early release now.
Yep.
Every game.
Yep.
Dang near every single, minimum 3 days.
Every major title pretty much has an early release now.
Minimum 3 days.
Yep.
Now, what does early access mean? It's basically the studio basically saying, hey, you give us an extra $10, you can go play the game early.
Right.
That doesn't.
All it is
the term. You can go play the game early.
Right.
Early.
Right.
Like that game, that definition. Go look it up. You can ask Siri. You can ask Alexa. Go use ChatGPT. Go Google it. Whatever AI service you want to use. Go look up the definition early. That early does not mean it's out.
Right.
Early means before.
Right.
And so, like, a day one patch came out, I think last night? Maybe?
Yesterday at 4 p.m.
Okay. And even then the game wasn't officially out.
Yep. And it was a pretty big patch, actually.
Yeah. And I don't even know what was in the patch. I need to go look. But beyond that, so stop complaining about you're not going to see like a patch for this game for at least minimum 30 days.
Right.
We might get one before the season starts.
Yeah.
That is 51 days, 50 days from today.
Yeah.
That's that week is probably the first time, the minimum.
Right. That's when you'll see the next big patch, pretty much.
Yeah. The first big patch for the game, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this morning. There's one game breaking thing that I think does need to get like quick fix, like ASAP. But just give me your overall thoughts on the game so far.
I'll say this. I like the pacing of the game. I do like the pacing of the game. I like the skill gap between two teams. So if you're playing a Texas at night, and you're playing as Texas State, you're gonna feel every moment of that. And I love that they brought that back. I don't feel like it was emphasized last year. I did notice it, but I don't think it was emphasized last year. I think that they've added a lot of things, a lot of small things that make college football unique, like being in the playing the Golden Gophers, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. You know, you're kicking a field goal and you see a gopher in the on the scoreboard to distract you from thinking about stuff. Texas Tech, we've just been talking about Texas Tech the last 30 minutes. Texas Tech throwing the tortillas on the field. What? Why wouldn't I want that? So to add on top of what you've already made, because I think the foundation of College Football 25 is fantastic. I played College Football 25 until last Saturday. So I've been excited about it. I think it's been great. I think that there have been a lot of things that they've included within the dynasty, especially recruiting. No more flipping between trying to figure out who you need and what you need. I can go in, pick my recruits. It will reflect on the dashboard of what I need, holes I need to fill, things like that. That is all spectacular. I absolutely love that. I only have really one gripe, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm done. I love the fact that they addressed the situation with the audio last year, where they had just that drum line. That drum line was just playing a long rhythmic. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that to a point, right? They brought in bands, or they brought in a band to play certain songs. There's not a lot of stank on those songs, though. I think they should have. I don't know what band you said. It was FSU.
I think I read on the presentation deep dive it was FSU.
Okay. From now on, going forward, if you're EA and you really want to get over, and this is just me, you know how I feel about EA, on some unresolved issues there, some unfinished business I got with them. They need to go and get every single HBCU band to play music from now on. No more FSU. I appreciate what you've done for this year. I'm listening to the music. I enjoy it. It don't have no soul in it. And I need some soul. You know who's going to give you that? The Ocean of Soul. You know who's going to give that to you? FAMU. You know who's going to give that to you? Southern. You know who's going to give that to you? Grambling. That's what I need to hear. I need to go pay, instead of paying FSU all that money for one band to come and play all those songs, break that money up, give that money to the HBCUs. That's it. That's my only gripe. I'm done.
I will combat that gripe into some logic.
Okay.
Because that's what I do. Because I look at everything from a 10,000 foot view.
Right.
While I get what you're talking about, I get what you're saying. You're saying it from I needed to hit a certain demographic, right?
No. It ain't about demographic.
Oh, no. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
And I think maybe what needs to occur is this year they might use, and also I don't think they'll ever use an HBCU, not until they at least get licensing. Right. So there's that piece of it. That's the first thing I thought about.
I think
that's not going to happen.
I think that's how you I think that's how you deliver with the HBCUs until you can get them in the game.
But even then, right? Like there's got to be like, and again, I'm just making this up, right?
Right.
I don't know if this is true or not, but let's just say Florida State wasn't in the game. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But their band was, and their band got an NIL payment, or they got money off of it.
Right.
That's going to be a problem. Now, not for EA. Maybe for EA it is.
Maybe.
That will be a problem, right?
Right.
So they couldn't, like, let's just say they used an HBCU band this year. Let's just say FAMU band was in the game, right? They play the music, whatever.
Right.
And they paid every and it's like a band of and these aren't like large bands, right? They're probably using like 20 people,
Right.
And they're sitting in an orchestra room and they're recording this stuff, right?
Right.
Those 20 people are the only 20 people that are getting paid. So it's not like the program is getting paid.
Right.
It's just those 20 people are getting paid.
Right.
The football teams aren't getting paid. The coaches aren't getting paid.
Mhm.
The whatever, like they're doing the whole the schools that you pay. The more you play with schools like this school, like that's not happening, right?
Right.
That causes conflict, and so you have EA probably has to, and I don't know if this is actually true or not. This is just what I'm thinking. EA probably has to look at it that way and say, as cool as it might be to use an HBCU, it probably legally probably wouldn't.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, what I think would be cool is let's just say December, January comes around and they shock us with a HBCU update, right? And as a part of that update, we're doing a refresh on the soundtrack that you have, and we're using an HBCU band as as a part of that refresh.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be cool, right?
Right.
Hey, you guys have been listening to this for the last however many months.
Right.
HBCUs are now in the game, and we're also providing a new HBCU based soundtrack to go with that.
Right.
Recorded by FAMU or whatever, right?
Right.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And I could see that, make something like that happen, right? I also like the secondarily, if they do HBCUs, if they do Division 1s, if they do Division 15s, Division 37s, whatever they do, I think it needs to change every year. This year it's Florida State. Next year it's FA, some sort of HBCU. The following year, maybe it's a Division 2 school. I don't know, but there needs to be variety, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't put Lil Wayne as the soundtrack every single year.
Right.
So why would they do the same thing with this, right? And also the rhythm and stuff.
In the right direction, though. Even though it is a complaint, really, and it's my only real gripe, it is a step in the right direction.
Oh no, for sure. And look, this just goes to show that they're listening.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking about enhancing it and looking at it from 10,000 feet, what do we do to continue to make it better, right? And last week we talked about this. They can the focus was then building on top of a really, really good foundation.
Yeah.
Last year I thought they said a really good foundation.
Yeah.
They added a touch to it. What do we continue to do to build on top of the musical foundation that we've already built?
Right.
I think that's maybe next year you do HBCUs. The following year you probably do a combination of the two. We're gonna bring both of these bands together and we're gonna add a little flavor of both. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's all. Listen, it's all a critique. It's not a harsh critique. I'm enjoying the game, and I'm enjoying the celebration of the game the most. I would say the absolute the I thought a lot of people would die down, or it would die down. There's a lot of stuff coming out this year, honestly, there's a lot of games coming out this year. If you're not a sports fan, there's it's a lot. And for this game to be announced and for it to come out and just people getting to enjoy it, I've been doing that a lot. I've been watching a lot of creators and what they're doing. I've had a lot of fun watching that leading up to it. So I've just been enjoying the game, and I really, outside of that, like I said, I really don't have any complaints. Again, from what I've played, and I've put about 10 hours into it, I've really enjoyed a lot of what I've had so far. So, as we get, I'm pretty sure as we get, play more, I'll have more critiques. But after 10 hours of gameplay, I think, and I would say that's fairly a lot, for the game to come out on Monday morning. I think what I've played has been really good.
Yeah.
So
I put in probably almost, I think I'm closer to 30 hours of gameplay, 25, 30 hours.
Well, you've taken off. And again,
I took off Monday. I was off Wednesday. I also am up to 3, 4 in the morning. I'll be up tonight for yet. Like I'm off tomorrow. I'm year 3 into my offline dynasty using Oklahoma State. I don't know why I decided to choose Oklahoma State. Huh? Yeah,
year 3.
Yeah, I just started year 3 this afternoon.
Have you won a national championship?
No, it's really freaking hard.
Okay.
Year 1, I lost in the Big 12 title game to Tech.
Okay.
They're stacked, and I wasn't. Year 2, I got to the playoff and I got dog walked by Georgia.
Okay.
And I just started year 3. And all that, like the first year, I had to start third string quarterback who was a freshman.
Oof. Okay.
Oklahoma State is terrible. Like that roster is trash.
That's so
like I don't know what Mike Gundy is doing, but that roster is terrible.
They're not paying players.
They're not doing anything. They're not paying.
You got to try to get them to Oklahoma. Yeah. That is also you got to sell Oklahoma.
Yeah, they're not paying.
That Oklahoma really has is the singles. If people aren't showing up to their NBA championship parade, what makes you think that kids are going to go and play in Bedlam? Stillwater. Excuse me. So that's all I got.
It's a cool environment, but
it's a
it's a cool environment, but
dude, Oklahoma State when they were rocking was it's crazy.
I was hard to play. Yeah, hard to play. I don't know why this is doing this. Bro, that's like it's like disconnecting from TikTok. So if you guys are on TikTok, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. We're about to wrap up anyway. I don't know why it's doing this, but it's messing up. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. But what I'll say is I think the game is really good. I like the offseason. I like how hard it is for players to stay. I like that you have to put a lot of focus on. You got to pick and choose, like what's important to you. Is your offense important? Is your defense important? Which guys on the offense are important to you? Which guys on the defense are like what is your what? All these guys have different deal breakers. Like what's the most important? They're not just like real life.
Right.
Just like real life, you're not going to be able to stack recruiting classes anymore. It's
right.
Dude, I struggle to get 10, 12 recruits a year. It's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. And even the recruiting classes you get, if you get too many of the wrong recruit, guys on your team that are like 94, 95, 96 overall are going to transfer.
Yeah.
And if you develop guys too quickly and you're at a smaller school, they're going to leave and go to a bigger school. So you have to like find the balance of like, ooh, you're a junior. Should I make you a 95? Like that'd be fun this year.
Right.
But I need you next year, right? Where everybody's kind of that. So do I do it now or do I save my points? Like there's a lot of decisions you have to make, and I think that's really cool. Probably my favorite part of Dynasty is like you actually have to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Which is realistic. We literally just talked about Texas having to make decisions on what's right for the roster.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I think if there's one thing that we talked about this morning that I think needs to get fixed as soon as possible, it's position changes.
Right.
That like what happens, and for those of you guys that don't know, if you have a right guard, for example, and they have 52 skill caps, basically meaning like you can so every like a level, like pass blocking, run blocking, whatever, impact blocking, you can only give them like X amount of skill points, right? Let's just say you can do 52, and then you moved into left guard and you can only give them 17. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
To me, it makes plenty of sense because again, you're moving a person from a natural state to an unnatural state. With that comes different strengths and weaknesses with that player. So
but this is what doesn't make sense. If that was like, yeah, I get logically it makes sense what you're saying, right? But philosophically it doesn't make sense because if I'm going from a right guard to a left guard, for example, right? And let's just say I'm an 86 overall and I drop down to an 84 overall. That's not a 40 skill cap difference.
Right, but your abilities could change too, being in that position.
your abilities can change. That's fine. But my skill caps as an 86 should not become 50 less just because if it became 50 less, then I should be going from an 86 overall to like a 70 overall.
I don't know, man. To
Like,
me,
that doesn't make sense. Like it does. The math isn't mathing, is what I'm saying. Like, I get what you're saying, where it's like, yeah, you technically could, like, you could be a complete bum on the left as a left guard, right? Like, I get that, but your overall should also reflect that.
Have you tried to take a good player and move him from one place to the other and see what happens?
I'm going to try it tonight. Like, I'm going to take like an obviously like really, really good player and move him to another position and just see. But the problem, I probably want to do that with like probably like a player that's not going to start, so that like next year, if he stays, I can change him back, because once you make the change, you can't change it back. Right. So, yeah, so that's a problem to me, because the skill caps have to match the overall. Like, I can't stay at an 86 overall and then my max speed all of a sudden is only 10, for example. But then my max speed at a 90 overall makes me an 86, only 2 overalls more, right? Like it's the math of it all that doesn't make any sense.
Well, once you make those changes, you let me know, because I think it's going to be reverse. If you take a guy and he clearly should be he's a wide receiver, he clearly should be a running back, and he's at 205 and he's 6 foot, and you move him to running back, and let's see how that works out. Let's see how that.
No, what I'm saying, like, let's just say I have that running back is that size, but then at a wide receiver he's 93 speed, right?
Yeah.
And let's just say he's 85 overall, right? You move him to wide receiver. Let's just say he goes to 88 speed.
Okay.
His overall should dip in accordance to that. He shouldn't stay at an 85 or a 93 or 85 overall. Like, because if his speed increased, his overall would increase.
Okay.
Because you know how you can do the manual skill caps, right?
Yeah.
So you can manually upgrade your players. So if his speed is decreasing because of a position change he's making, his overall should also decrease. Because if you're increasing it, his overall is increasing, which basically means that statistical like skill cap has an influence on the overall rating. Like, that's how it's programmed.
Okay.
So if it's only going one way and not the other, it's broken.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when they address that. Right now, we're nitpicking at a certain.
Oh yeah, no, this is a nitpicky thing, but in dynasty leagues that go as long as ours, that's a really important thing. Like that is the difference between like a potential like a 91, 92 overall guy not playing enough because he's actually showing up as an 80 or whatever, and then he transfers. Like, so that is important. Like, if we're saying that team building is a thing and dynasty is supposed to be hard and you have to keep your players and you're doing everything you can to keep your players, but then the game is preventing you from keeping your players, like, that's a big deal.
That's true.
And I'm usually one that is like on the opposite side of these types of conversations. I'm just kind of like, yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. And this, like, I don't have this like, this is broken. It needs to be like mentality. Like, that's just not who I am. Right. So me bringing this up and actually saying, wait, that's broken. Like, to me, like that's important to like address. Not saying EA should listen to what I'm saying, but you know me, like I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But like me, that's a game breaking bug. Like that is a blocker. It like completely ruins the experience of the game. We basically gave you this thing, right? We created logic behind it, but then we broke it on the back. And that's my only gripe. Beyond that, I think the game is fantastic. I love the game. I think it's way better than last year. I think it's a lot more deeper. You have a lot more control. There's more immersion. Playing the games is a lot of fun. Like the Golden Gopher stuff, like doing like things like that is really, really cool. The skill gap is there. If you don't know football concepts, you will look like an idiot in this game.
Yep.
Things like no eyes, no interception, excellent implementation.
Yep.
Like I shouldn't just be able to randomly go up because I hit the Y, smash the triangle button 10 times and I happen to jump. Like, but I'm not looking at the ball. Like, just like football things in this game that are really, I love the stunts. I don't know how to use them because I don't know diddly squat about like the X's and O's, but I'm learning it, right?
Right.
I love the stunts. I actually love how you can actually mix up coverages.
Mm-hmm.
The number one thing, if you are a hardcore player that nobody talks about, that they made, and I don't know if you discovered this, is how you can now like untag focus like the from the lineman on a play.
Yeah. That was
They
one.
basically like they nerfed any type of like. There's still like YouTubers trying to find a legitimate loot blitz. Like it's not there.
Yeah. So somebody will find a way.
It's still early, right? But
Yeah.
Usually by now people would have found it. Like guys are running the same stuff over and over, and it's like, dude, this doesn't work.
Yeah. I'm glad about that. I'm happy.
And that's awesome. Like it really, truly, like people are getting really, really like pissed off around like, bro, I can't do this anymore. No, it's not that you can't do it, and you can't do it because you're not supposed to be able to do it.
Right.
Like you shouldn't be able to bring your middle linebacker, your safety out for 15 yards and put him in the middle of the field, like 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, and like artificially break the AI from not knowing the blocking logic, right? Like it doesn't make that's not football. That's you just breaking the game.
Yeah.
And saying, "Oh, look at this super cool loop blitz because now you're out. Now your defensive end can come off the line untouched."
Yeah.
That's not football. That's breaking the game. And look, guys are upset about it. And I'm not saying they're losing games because of it. They're just like, bro, I can't get pressure anymore. I have to send 5. Welcome to the real world. You have to send 5. You're a lot of times you're not going to get pressure with 4-man fronts unless your like defensive line is really, really good.
Yeah.
Why? Because 5 is bigger than 4. Well, it's really simple math. Unless you're like, it's really simple math, honestly. Like, I'm sitting here thinking it's like, oh, I can't bring any pressure with 4-man front because 5 is greater than 4.
Me.
Like, I don't know what else to tell you, man. Like, sorry, like, and then one guy double teams the guy. Now it's 4-on-3, really.
Yep.
And 4 is greater than 3. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. So, yeah. But anyway, I think the game's excellent. I'm having a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of games that are coming out tonight, in 2 hours is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Games are coming, man. We have hit.
It's a great time. It's a great time.
The next 4 months of games are going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and then the holiday season is always crazy. So.
Yeah, but a lot of the good games I care about playing are before that anyway. So, basically, Borderlands 4 is 62 days away. Cannot wait. I think Borderlands 4 is going to compete for Game of the Year this year. I think it is that good.
Oh,
I think it is.
Listen, I'm not. Ghost of Yote did a deep dive today, so I'm gonna check that out. I don't necessarily know how that's gonna go. Ghost of Tsushima is one of my favorite PlayStation games, so we'll go from there.
I watched the state of play. It was pretty good. But I wasn't like jumping out of my boxers for it or anything.
I don't know yet. I'm gonna tell you when I watch it, but I don't know yet. But
Sure.
as far as college football 26, so far so good. We will keep you posted. I will let you guys know if Harish stays in the league and stays active this year. We'll keep you posted on that.
Bulls are here, baby.
I have said how I felt about the game. Harish, you've got what you had on your chest off. We got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, let's get out of here. I'm gonna watch Superman here in a couple hours.
All right. Well, listen, you can find me at Tim Wayne on Twitter. Make sure you continue to follow us on the Longhorn Fan Metal Podcast. We appreciate that. Sorry for the folks that were on TikTok. Don't necessarily know what happened with that. That was weird. I was looking at my phone and was like, things
I thought
going.
it was your phone too. I was like, "What's going on?" Like,
Well, it was. I don't know, but we'll address it. We'll fix it next week. Um, Again, happy birthday to my guy. He just celebrated his birthday yesterday.
sir,
So,
appreciate it.
make sure you guys wish my man Harish a happy birthday in the comments there. Where can they find you at?
The Uncle Gandhi.
All right. Well, I
Get
guess
out of
we're
here.
done.
All right. All right, guys, we're gonna head out of here. My name is Harish. This is my guy Tim Wayne. He's not back there. He's over here. Anyway, we're out of here. Peace.
So, Gabriel.